Okay, so I just finished doing a live stream. I've been doing a lot of live streams lately. And on this last one, I had a hater in the comments who was doing a lot of self projecting and basically giving me advice on what to do with my life and basically telling me that to give up on YouTube, that I won't be able to make any money on YouTube, this and that. And so I want to give a little bit of backstory of who I am because a lot of people confuse me for themselves. A lot of people self project their insecurities onto me. And this isn't the first hater like that, and it won't be the last. So I just want to tell you who I am and where I come from and my mentality and my character. And just to show you that you might not know, you might think you know who I am, but you truly do not know who the hell I am. So let me give you my backstory. Um, I'm number 8 of 9 kids. My family comes from Mexico. They were immigrants, illegal immigrants, into the United States. And I was born here in the U.S. My parents weren't. Half my family was born in Mexico. And growing up, I was raised in the manner of everybody has to work. You know, if you're basically old enough to walk and talk, you're old enough to work. I started working at the age of 6, and people don't believe me when I tell them that I was working at the age of 6 because my family had a restaurant. And this restaurant, we still have it to this day. It's been family owned and operated since 1993. I was born in 88. And it's been family owned and operated. No outside work. Nobody who's outside of immediate family only. It's been my sisters, my parents, my brother. I don't know if my brother ever worked there because he was a lot older. I think he might have been out the house by then. A couple aunts, cousins, for the most part. But for the most part, actually, it's been mainly my sisters and my parents. And right now we have a few nieces and nephews that are working there. Now, with that being said, I used to work there when I started around 6 or 7 years old. My job was to peel potatoes. I would peel potatoes every day. I have the scars, might not be able to see, scars on my knuckles from the potato peeler. Every now and then I was freaking chip away some skin on my knuckles. And that was my job as a little kid. It was peeling potatoes. I was doing that. My sisters, who are a little bit older than me, there's a different age group because I was number 8 out of the 9 kids. They were waitressing or cashiering. They were working the front. My parents worked the back as cooks. And I was a kid, so and they didn't want people knowing that they have kids working in the freaking restaurant. So I worked in the back, just peeling potatoes. And then as I got older, I did dishwashing, and just cleaning here and there. I didn't really do the front until I was a teenager. But as a kid, I worked in the kitchen. Now they didn't pay me. I didn't get any kind of payment. They told me that, hey, we pay you by paying the bills. And what can I say? They tell me I gotta work. It's basically a child labor, but whatever. It was a different time. Now, I wanted money as a kid because I was poor, and I had that hustler mentality that I would figure out a way to get money. when I was still in elementary school, I remember I would collect cans on my bicycle, go around with the trash bag around the neighborhood and collect cans. And when I had enough cans collected in the backyard, take them to the scrap yard and get some money. Nowadays kids, no kid would do that, but we used to do that in the 90s and way before the 90s. But that wasn't enough. You get a couple dollars out of that. So I told my parents, man, can I please get paid? When I was at least 12, as I was turned 13, I was like, man, please, I want some money because I'm tired of wearing Walmart shoes. I'm tired of getting made fun of at school, and I want some money so I can buy, some name brand stuff. They told me, well, go get a job if you want to get paid. And all right, I went and I got me a job. Within a week, I went to this restaurant called Yamato's Japanese Seafood Restaurant. It's still here. It's on 61st Street here in Galveston, Texas. And I went to the kitchen and I told them that I was looking for work. They asked me how old I was. I lied. I told them I was a lot older. And I told them I was from Mexico. Basically, kind of trying to tell them like that way I don't have to show ID or anything. And it was the first place that I tried, and that was on 61st Street. I grew up on 63rd Street, so I walked there, and it was the very first place, so it worked. And they hired me to be in the kitchen as a dishwasher and what do you call it? Busser. Clean the tables and to peel shrimp. I would peel shrimp in the beginning of my shift, all for $4 an hour. To me, and that was way below minimum wage at that time. Minimum wage was $5.25, and to me it was okay, because it was cash. And as a kid, I didn't have no bills, and $4 an hour, it added up. I would I don't know how many hours a week I would work, but I worked a lot, and I made money, and I was balling. I had brand new shoes, name brand clothes, I went and got me a PlayStation 2. Anything I wanted, I would buy. It was like, man, this is nice. So that's the mentality that I have. If I want something, I'm gonna go get it, I learned that as a young person. People don't understand that I've worked a lot of jobs, a lot of industries. I was talking to this person in this chat, and they're trying to tell me, you should quit that YouTube stuff and get a trade and do this and that. People always want to give me unsolicited advice when I'm not asking for it, and they don't know. Look, this might be you. You might be the type of person that wants to give somebody advice. Before you give advice, ask questions. Ask that person, tell me about yourself. What have you done? Where have you worked? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Instead of just saying, man, you know what? You just got to pick up a trade and do this and that. Like, you don't know what I've done. You don't know where I work. You don't know my life story. Maybe you're talking about yourself and your doubts and projecting those insecurities onto others, saying, "Oh, YouTube ain't gonna work for you, bro. It ain't gonna work for you." No, maybe it won't work for you, but you don't know about me. You don't know how hard I work. Let me keep going about let me give you my CV. All right. So that was my first legit job, was Yamato's. After a while, I didn't want to get paid $4 an hour. I went and worked at a gas station. I don't want to give it the name of this place because they also for the first couple of years I worked all under the table, and I'm kind of blasting Yamato's, but whatever, man. They did me wrong by paying me under the $4. At this other place, they actually paid me. I think it was like $8 an hour, above minimum wage, and it was still under the table, but it was good money. I worked at the gas station as stocking all the beverages inside the walk-in cooler. Basically, in gasoline stations, you see all the fridge doors. Well, in the back, it's just a walk-in cooler, and somebody has to stock all that, and that was me. And then I would also just take the trashes out, clean the restrooms, and clean the pumps, that pump area. And also we had a little kitchen, and I wouldn't cook any of the food because the food was already cooked in the morning. I was working I was in school at this time, in high school, and basically what I would do is throw out the old food, or if there was still some food left, maybe sell it or package it up and sell it to customers. Yeah, so I did that for a while, and until I moved on to another job, which was Jack in the Box. I moved from job to job. Jack in the Box was actually legit. I was a fry cook, and then I went and worked in the, I don't want to say the hotel industry. It was more like it was a timeshare, but it was basically like a hotel. I was a house man, bringing towels and sheets to not to customers. I would bring them to the cleaning ladies, because as they were cleaning every room, they need somebody to bring them all the stuff that they need for the room, and somebody to take all the old sheets to the laundry place. So that's what I would do, And I did that also in high school. I mean, I worked all these crazy jobs. And every time I would quit, and the reason I would quit is because another job opportunity came about that paid a little bit more. And I'm like, I'm always about getting paid more. And a bunch of different construction jobs as a kid. Oh, I worked at the gym, at the racket club, Galveston Racket Club. That's been out of business. I was wiping down the equipment. I was the groundskeeper. I will cut the lawn and just clean the pool, maintain the facilities, and I have a lot of brother-in-laws with 7 sisters, and I will work with them odd jobs, construction jobs, mainly tile and laminate floors, because that's their trade, and that became my trade, helping out with that industry. And also at a tire shop, my brother had his own tire shop. I helped work at the tire shop, put in plugs in tires and patches, and helping out with that, and also with freaking upholstery. We would do headliners, car headliners. Yeah, so, and this is all I'm still a teenager doing all these crazy jobs. I haven't even left high school. I can't even think about just little off, jobs that I would get that were, they were just like, almost like, people will pay me to do oddball stuff, and maybe for a couple weeks, like, sometimes I will work for a marketing company to put, things on people's doors. Just some random stuff that I would pick up from here and there. Well, first week out of high school, as soon as I graduated, my uncle was working on an oil rig in Houston, building oil rigs, and he had told me, hey, you want to make some real money? Come work over here. And I'm like, all right. I graduated high school, and then that weekend passed. On that very Monday, I started working over there in Houston and on this big ass oil rig. And we weren't pumping oil; we were making oil rigs. I mean, but it was still a dangerous ass job. People. While I was working there, somebody almost lost their whole hand. They got it smushed. Somebody got lost an eye with a shrapnel, hit him in the eye. So I mean, it wasn't as dangerous as an actual oil rig that's pumping oil, but it was still rough, And I did that for about, I want to say 5 months, and it was 12 sevens, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I never got a day off the entire time I worked, and until I quit. My first day off was the day I quit. I just got tired of it, but the money was great. I quit, and then I joined the army. I joined the army a couple months after that, just because I couldn't. I was still a teenager, and I couldn't find anything that would pay as good. And I was kind of mad that I quit. But then, man, I just told him, man, can you give me some days off, man? I'm tired of these 12 sevens. And at the time, I understand it now as an adult. But back then, what they were telling me is like, hey, man, enjoy these 12 sevens because it's not always like this. Milk it while you can because it's going to slow down. And then at that job, it did eventually slow down. But it was like another 6 months, and then it slowed down where they were working like 5 days a week, and they were like, man, make that overtime while you can make the overtime as much as you can. Forget everything else because you will make a lot of money. And to me, I was like, man, I just want to live. I want some freedom. So I ended up leaving, joined the army, and which was a worst mistake. Now that I see it, I should have just stayed there. Joined the army as an analyst and did all kinds of crazy jobs. Went all over the world. Went to Korea. Went to Afghanistan. Traveled through Europe. Went all over the U.S. Learned different kinds of jobs. Learned different way of thinking. After the army, I ran for office. Worked for a lot of nonprofits as either a volunteer or basically barely getting paid anything at all. What else? Like I said, I ran for office. It wasn't successful, but I knew when I ran for city council that I wasn't gonna win. And people were like, "Why are you running for an office if you don't think you're gonna win?" And I always tell them, it's not always about winning in life, If you think you're gonna fail in anything you do, and that's why you're not even gonna try, it's like then you probably won't ever do anything. Like me, I go into things knowing that hey, there's a high probability that I'm gonna fail, but that's not important. Winning is not always the main goal. The journey. The learning experience that I'm getting from it, that's valuable. When I ran for office, even though I lost, I learned a lot about marketing and running a campaign. So I became a campaign manager, and I got another job doing managing campaigns. I manage different elections from people running for City Hall to Congress to the Senate. And each time I got better and better. Just recently, I helped someone get elected to city council here in Galveston. Somebody I went to college with. And I taught this person or showed them a lot of tricks that I learned throughout my experiences from my failures. So your failures aren't always a failure. That you can learn something from them. Even if you run your own business, I've opened up businesses and failed many times, But again, I learn a lot. I learn more every time. I learn more about marketing, more about this is what you got to do, and this and that. And I learn how to deal with losing, because when you lose, a lot of people get hurt and they don't want to ever do anything again. And I learned how to not let it get to me, how to not let losing get to me. Okay, so other jobs out of the army. I was manager of a freaking like a groundskeeping / janitor service here at the Coast Guard base. I've been bartender, bar back, cigar salesman, food runner, server, restaurant manager at probably over 20 different bars and restaurants here in Galveston. You know, uh, anything in the restaurant industry, I've done it. Also, I've been a cook at a restaurant, a host. Like everything in the restaurant industry, I've done it. I can, my family even tried to give me their restaurant, but I hate the restaurant industry. I hate it with a passion. And even if they give it to me, I might do it, but I won't be happy. I would be miserable, you know. And I still have that part as part of my inheritance. And I've managed my family's business, you know, and I've done everything in there too. So my work history it's extensive. I worked at the Port of Galveston as a longshoreman, and I've done a variety of jobs at the port. I've worked at the hospital and done a variety of things at the hospital. Like I said, I can't name every job that I've done, but it's a really long work history. So when people try to tell me, man, you should do this, you should do that, I'm like, you don't know what I've done, man. I've already done this and that. Oh, just learn a trade. Like, I'm tired of, when it comes to back labor, I've put my body through so much that I can't tolerate certain things anymore, especially the construction or manual labor. It's not in it. It's not physically. It's not in it for me. You know, it's if you worked construction, and I'm talking about like stuff where you're on your hands and knees, and when you get off of work, you just want to lay down, and your whole body aches, man. I've done that, and the older you get, it hurts even more, you know. And I can't do that anymore. That life's over. I'll never do that, mess my body up like that again, you know. So that's my work history, you know. Event planner, marketing, freaking bouncer, like I said, Uber driver, name it, I've probably done something close to it. Now, I also have something that most people don't have, and it's the no excuse mentality. I've talked about it on this channel way back in the very beginning. I made a video, no excuse, or something like that. And basically is, I don't make excuses like the average person. Like I gave the example that I had to go to an event that I was helping market, and my car broke down. So I could have just said, hey, you know, I can't go, my car broke down. But no, I was like, you know what? Let me get an Uber. You know, I'll figure something out. Let me get an Uber. My phone, I had stupid was it Boost Mobile at the time? My data plan was out. I had a crappy data plan, and I tried to get the Uber app downloaded and all that, because I didn't have the Uber app downloaded, and it wasn't working. I was like, man, this sucks. I'm like, what can I do? I was like, you know what? I'll ride my bicycle. I had a bicycle. I'll just ride my bicycle to the event. And I was wearing a suit and tie, you know, and it is summertime. But I made it. I rode my bicycle. I made it. And the guy that I was helping manage the event, he was like, you rode your bike over here? And I'm like, yeah, man. It's no excuse, man. I'll figure out a way to do something. I just don't give up at the first little bump on the road. When I had to go to a wedding to a really good friend of mine in the Army, he was getting married in New Jersey. I was gonna fly out. The problem was Hurricane Harvey hit. When Hurricane Harvey hit, all flights were grounded because at the airport got flooded. I'm like, you know what? I'm still go. I'll just drive over there. I went down across the ferry, and I tried driving through one road. It's completely flooded. Crossed the ferry back, went up I-45. This road was flooded. This road flooded. I managed. I got out of Texas, went through Louisiana, and eventually I drove 20 something hours straight from here to New Jersey, and I made it just in time. And my friend, he was surprised, like, you made it through all that? I'm like, hey, when I said I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm not just gonna give up just because bad weather or bad circumstances. I'll find a way. That's in my nature. I'll figure something out. And but most people aren't like that. Most people are like, well, I guess I'm gonna not go to work today because I'm having car issues or this and that, and they kind of just want to give up. They want something that they want an excuse just to give up. Now, this person earlier today, he was on my stream, and he was telling me that, how am I gonna get monetized? I barely have any subscribers. This person said, you have 163 at the time. This is like a couple hours ago. You have 163 subscribers, and you've been at it for 9 months. What that person doesn't know is, I quit my job in August. I vlogged about it. I quit it in August, the last week of August. And then I made a video on August 30th saying, I'm gonna mainly focus now on YouTube to be my main job. I've done a couple of videos prior to that, but nothing to this extent. I had 23 subscribers on August 30th. Right now, as the making of this video, I have 173. So in about 51 days, I've made 150 subscribers, because I dedicated myself, all my energy into YouTube. I told myself, I'm gonna pump out videos on anything and everything to see what works, to see what sticks. And I'm gonna get this monetized one way or another. This year, this is gonna get monetized. I'm a workaholic. And then I had another hiccup happened. My truck broke down, and my truck's been breaking down for like the last couple of years. It's an old Dodge Ram. It has like almost 70,000 miles, or who knows. It's pretty beat up, and every now and then something happens, like something breaks. Well, this last time it broke for the very last time, and I was like, man, what am I gonna do? Well, I have an office space that I lease out, and this is where I want to make my YouTube videos. But how do I get to work? Well, it looks like I'm walking. I walk 2 miles to work every day. If I don't walk to work and 2 miles home, sometimes I take the bus. If I catch it. If I don't catch it, I walk. Or the weekends. On the weekends, the bus isn't as regular. I still haven't figured out the weekend bus schedule. But for the most part, I just walk. It ain't nothing, That's the type of person I am. I figure out a way. Most people wouldn't freaking walk 2 miles to work every day and 2 miles home. On top of that, sometimes I walk 2 miles to work. Then when I get here, I go and I walk a couple miles around downtown, live streaming. And then I walk home. I'm walking on some days 6 or 7 miles. That's my dedication. That's the work ethic in me. But this person doesn't know that. A lot of people think that I'm just like them. They think I'm lazy. They think that they can't do it, so how can I do it? You can't make money on YouTube because I can't make money on YouTube. Like, hey, no, you don't know my work ethic. 150 subscribers in 51 days. You know, what's gonna happen in the next 51 days? I just gotta get to 500. Once I get to 500 subscribers, that's I can partner up with YouTube. And then once I get to 1,000 subscribers, that's advertiser money. You know, 500 subscribers is for the super chat. 1,000 is for the ad revenue. I'm gonna get there. You know. Again, I'm not like you. If this is you, if you got that quitter mentality, if you got that that loser mentality, that I don't want to try, I don't want to try anything because I can't do it. I'm like, hey, look, man, look at this YouTube channel. I even said this in one of my very first YouTube videos, like way back, and maybe my first video. I said, if this doesn't work, whatever. I'm learning something from it. I'm learning how to do more public speaking, be in front of a camera, edit videos. I learned how to edit, like these videos that I'm making now. They're unedited. But my very first videos, I would edit and I would learn how to do voiceover and things that I did not learn before. So I am learning something from it. Right now, too, I learned how to get more subscribers. When I first started doing YouTube, I didn't know how to get subscribers. This last month, all this troubleshooting, I finally kind of broke the code on how to get subscribers. And if you keep listening and you want to be a YouTuber, the secret is live streaming. Ever since I started live streaming, my subscribers have gone through the roof. And that's why I dedicate pretty much all my time now just to live stream. And I never would have known that if I hadn't been dedicating all my time into this. You know, most YouTubers don't know this. They think they're just making videos and nice thumbnails, titles, this and that. Like for me, like the majority of my subscribers are from my live streams. The other majority are from YouTube Shorts. Very few subscribers were from my actual videos. Very few. I mean, like less than a dozen, I would say. And now I know this. But again, I never would have learned this if I'd never tried this. And who knows what I'll learn next week and the week after that. I just started learning about live streaming. I want to say maybe a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks since I started live streaming. So this is something new. Again, I'm learning constantly new things. I never knew about YouTube Shorts. That was something new. So just wanted to share this story just in case. Maybe this could be inspirational. Maybe you're just like me, that you have people all around you telling you you'll never make it and this and that, and maybe you should try this, giving you unsolicited advice and projecting their insecurities on you. Oh, sorry, I have a cough. I'm about to cut this in a second. But if you are like me and have all these people doubting you, don't let it get to you. You know, chase your dreams. Especially if it's a dream that's achievable. You know, I'm not trying to go to Mars. I'm just trying to make money off of YouTube. It's not a crazy idea. It's not an idea that's out of this impossible. Obviously, there's millions of people that are making money off of YouTube. I actually brought this up to that person, told him that Mr. Beast, oh my God, that Mr. Beast, his first year wasn't as good, and now he became one of the best YouTubers ever. It's the grind, it's learning. You know, it's not gonna come on your very first video. And then he laughed and blah, blah, blah. not understanding it, what I'm saying. It's possible. You never know. You never know how long it's gonna take you. You know, some people got lucky. So, some it takes them a couple years until they make it. I'm hoping to be one of the lucky ones. Who knows? All right, I gotta cut this, but just like I said, chase your dreams. Don't let these people project their insecurities on you. You know, I don't. All right, let me know your thoughts.